This is Jim Williams with the Hurricane City Tropical Update for August 5th, 6 p.m. Well, as expected, several of the models indicated that Colin would regenerate south of Bermuda and head generally off to the northwest and pass just to the west of Bermuda. So let's go ahead and put this in motion using the HurTrack program. And you can see that the system's closest approach would be on Saturday night, right around 10 p.m., as the system passes about 90 nautical miles to the west-northwest of Bermuda. At that time, the system should have winds around 55 miles an hour. Now, our current feature at Hurricane City is the island of Bermuda. The countdown clock has been activated, and that is active even while you have the front page of Hurricane City open. That countdown clock continues to count down and shows you the current time left until tropical storm force winds arrive. Now, inside the aqua circle on this HurTrack program are sustained tropical storm force winds. Inside the yellow circle are gusts up to tropical storm force. Now, several models are indicating this will pass directly over Bermuda, and it could actually be a hurricane at that time. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on with the animation, and you'll see the system continues to pass north and then starts to move northeast in response to a trough. Let's pan this out and show you as it starts to strengthen in the North Atlantic and heads off to the northeast. It could end up clipping Newfoundland. We'll have to wait and see on that. But right now, Bermuda is the focus. There's a tropical storm warning in effect for Bermuda, and the highest winds are going to be in the right front quadrant anyway. So even if this passes off to the west, they're going to get the worst of this as it passes near Bermuda. Now, the hurricane hunters have been out there this afternoon. Let's zoom in on those fixes here. And what I want to point out here is if I mouse over these wind barbs over here to the right, you see some of these winds are upwards of 50 knots out here on the right front quad of Tropical Storm Colin. And then, of course, as you move closer to the center, the winds are weaker, around 30 knots. And then the backside winds out of the west and northwest are only around 8 to 10 knots. So this is a very lopsided system. All the highest winds are well away from the center of circulation on the right front quadrant, which is why we've activated the countdown clock, and Bermuda will get the worst of this. Alright, here is the floater loop of our system, and while we have it zoomed in before I pan it out, it's clear that where we can see the center of circulation, if you follow my mouse pointer, in fact, let's go ahead and circle it right here. There's the center of circulation right there, and you'll notice how all the convection is off to the right, being blown off by strong southwesterly wind shear, and that is why this system is lopsided and it's not getting organized quickly anytime soon. However, if you look at the, well, again, here's the forecast from the National Hurricane Center. Again, Sunday evening, it will be moving away from Bermuda, but Saturday night is the night that Bermuda should get the worst conditions out of this because it's slowing down its forward speed in here. But then it's going to rapidly pick up its forward speed on the backside of a trough, and it's going to start slinging off to the northeast, and it could end up affecting Newfoundland as a pretty significant extratropical storm. It should be an extratropical storm in about 96 hours. That's when the winds start to spread out in all quadrants, and it takes on extratropical characteristics. Now, here is the GFDL model at the closest approach to Bermuda. They show it just west of Bermuda, but the wind's up there around 80 knots. Now, this is not at the surface. These are 35-meter winds. So we're talking probably strong tropical storm force winds at ground level, and they have some instruments in Bermuda that are pretty high up in the higher level, so they probably will get some gust up to maybe hurricane force on the island, but this is not a major deal. It's remained to be seen whether they put hurricane watches up, but there is a tropical storm warning in effect. We'll have to see if the GFDL model is correct. Now, the GFDL models handled Colin very well. It's probably been the best performing model as this has showed this recurving and coming in west of Bermuda, so we'll see if that plays out in the future. All right, here's the water vapor loop of the Atlantic Basin, and let's see what else is going on out there. Here's Colin right here, moving off to the northwest, should give Bermuda some bad weather over the weekend. And here's that upper level low right here that's been causing all the disruption in the southwest winds. There is increasing shear out in front of this, and then once it gets up near Bermuda, that wind shear is going to relax a little bit, and this could go ahead and strengthen as it heads off into the North Atlantic. This system down here was Invest 92L. It's been taken off the map. It's weakening. There's a very low percentage of possibility for development as this moves into Central America. This system back in here, the Canadian model, And I think that the GFS show a very weak system kind of following on the heels of Colin out here, maybe heading off into the North Atlantic, but it doesn't look like it's going to be much of a threat. The no gaps has it going like this, but the no gaps has been a south-lying model all year long, and the no gaps forecast models have been pretty poor this hurricane season. In fact, they've been poor the past several hurricane seasons. Well, that's it for now. We'll be back with another update tomorrow on the situation. We'll see if we have hurricane force winds expected for Bermuda, but folks should be preparing to secure all their loose objects and get ready for tropical storm force winds in Bermuda. That's it for now. Thank you again for visiting Hurricane City.